G'day everybody, how's it going? Today I'm just going to take you for a drive, and I'll pull out to do that first, and then I'll go over talking about the Mazda Mx-5, or Miata if you're from America, or I think in Japan it's called something else. It's a something roadster. But, yeah, so the Mazda Mx-5. So, for this video, I'll just go over, well, my initial thoughts on the car. I'll go over the exterior. I'll go over the interior. Its practicality, which, there's not much of, but, you know. I'll also go over its sportiness and what it'd be like to drive. Then I'll also give you its specs, and then I'll also give you my final thoughts on the car. So, I guess let's start off with the initial thoughts. So, I see them around everywhere, and I know that there is 4 different types of, I guess, models you could say. There's I think it's the NA, and then the NB, and then the NC, and then the ND, which is currently being made. And then, well, there's little sub-names. I don't know if these are official names, but I think they're fan names. There's the ND1, MD2, and then the ND3, which has only just been, I guess, updated to be... Oh, where am I? Up here. It was only just, like, updated in the last year, in 2024. It's updated some aspects on the car all throughout. Minor things that have improved it. So I'll mostly just be going over the MD today. Well, the ND3 most likely. That's what I've got the specs for. And then, well, I'll also be referring back to other models here and there most likely. So, of what I know, across the whole range of MX-5s, they're quite reliable cars. Like, there's nothing major that goes wrong with most of them. Like, there'd be some wrong things here and there, because that's just what happens. But, mostly, they're quite reliable cars, to my knowledge. You can see one over there. I'll get close and you can probably see it better on camera. Yeah, so I believe that this one here is an MD, or ND, I think that was an MD1 or 2, I forget. It was, so there's two, to my knowledge, there's 2 different types. There's another one, goddamn, popping up everywhere all of a sudden. I do like the white on them, rather than the grey one back there. I prefer the white one there. So I don't know. Oh, I know one person who owns one, and they own an NA version with the pop-up headlights. And I know they like that. I know they like their car a lot. So that's a good thing. Other than that, I've never been in one. I only know one person that owns one. Yeah, I've never been in it, nor seen their car. I just know that they have one in blue. Although, I have, like, walking up to them in person, like, the earlier versions, like ND, I think B, I've seen, like, parked next to me, and it's so small. I mean, this car is quite small. I'm in a Honda Jazz, but that's even smaller, which is crazy to me. yeah, so I guess from there I'll move to exterior. Of all the different types of MX-5s out there, I think the NA to me is the best looking one, the one with the pop-up headlights. I like that one a lot. Yeah, I prefer it over the NB and the NC. I think the ND is the second best looking one. Yeah, but the ND, the MX-5 ND, kind of looks a bit funny to me. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It just looks, the face of it just doesn't really catch me, if you get that. Like, there's some cars that you look at and you admire it for its looks. I don't really do that much for the MX-5, but it's not a bad looking car. I mean, I do like I think the front's my least favourite part of the car, in my opinion. I prefer the side profile. And the rear, I only really like the rear of the 2024, well, of the NDs. I like the most recent update of it. Before that, I haven't really liked the rear of the MX-5s. Although I do like the NA rear. The NA all around just looks good. I like that. But for the NDs, I like the most recent update is my favorite, with all the different changes they've made. So they've moved the LEDs from like just little lines in the headlights, or is it? No, I think that's how you tell the ND1 is little lines in the headlights. ND2 is daylight running lights, like down lower. And then the ND3, I like what they've done with it. I'll show you here. I don't know how to explain it, but it's in the headlights. It's got a little round pattern on the side and then bits in the middle. And yeah, I like what they've done to it a lot with the new one. They've made it look a lot better, in my opinion, than it being previous. I'll move to the interior. So the interior, I forgot to say the difference. Sorry, with the being convertible, you can get the RF, which has like it's a hard top convertible, and then the soft top. There's a soft top convertible. Between the two, I do prefer the RF looks, because I like the proportions it puts on the car, rather than some cloth being over it. So yeah, that's an exterior difference, you could say. So the interior is it's something. I mean, it's got the Mazda infotainment, which you can't interact with, which is just, well, only it from the 2024 and onwards, there is a setting that you can turn on to make it interactive. Like, while you're driving, you can use the touchscreen. But in every other model, you have to use some dial on the side to interact with the infotainment, which, I mean, I haven't used it, so I probably can't say much on it. But if I were to imagine using it, I don't think I'd like that. I like reaching and turning a dial or something. So I don't even really like touchscreens that much, but you know, whatever. It has got physical climate controls, the MX-5, so that's amazing. It should be a standard thing amongst most cars, I think. Because I have used a touchscreen recently in a car that I've hopped in, and I prefer this. It was just weird because you had to bring up a menu to get into it, and it was like, can I just turn dial? It's just the simple things. Anyway, the MX-5 has that, which is good. Also has a manual handbrake, which I like. It's satisfying to hear the clicks as you pull it up, rather than pulling a lever. There's no satisfaction in that, but whatever. Of course, you can get the manual or automatics version. Everyone says to get the manual because it's more fun factor, but controversial. But I think I'd just prefer to get an automatic if I were to get one, because it's just, I don't know, I feel manual just doesn't really suit me. Controversial point. Yeah, manual just doesn't really suit me personally. But other than that, it doesn't really have it doesn't have a glove box in the usual spot, but behind the seats, behind the cup holders, behind the center console, there is a little storage spot there that you can use. And then behind the seats, there's also there's like little secret pockets back there that you can put stuff. Which is kind of cool. If you're trying to hide something from someone, you can just pull the seat forward, put it in the little pocket behind that. Is this truck gonna move? There we go. Hate pressing the horn. I feel like I'm pushing someone. I don't mean it. Oh well. They weren't paying attention, I guess. I need to learn to press that more often, really. I've had instances where I've been, not in this car, but someone's like tapped the rear of my car, well, the car that I was driving at the time, because the car in front of me wasn't moving, but they started rolling forwards and then they hit the back of the car. Not hard, just like softly, and that kind of freaked me out that one time. So, should use the horn sometimes for sure. That's definitely a scenario where you'd use one just then. Anyway, up the hill. So other things in the interior is, well, it's only two-seater, which is obvious. So it's a sports car. It's meant to be like that. It's nimble. It's not meant to be a people carrier. It's meant to be a fun car. What other things? Oh, the update. So, becoming a 2024 model from the previous model, it's got all new, I think it's mostly new heads-up display. I know they've changed the font of the heads-up display, which you probably couldn't tell, and made it more fancy. So, that's cool, I guess. Following this truck. The infotainment is, it's just, you wouldn't use it for just normal use. You just use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, I reckon. That's all I've seen it mainly be used for. I don't know how intuitive it is without that, because everything I've seen, they just haven't bothered using it. So either it's a pain to use it, or basically it's just not the point of the car to use that. The point's to drive an MX-5, not to use the infotainment, I guess. Let's go to practicality, I think. So the practicality of the MX-5 is, well, it's not made for it, obviously, But I'll just go over some points of it. Obviously, it's a two-seater. It's not meant to carry people. The boot space, well, it changes on the model. So if you get the hard top, in the boot, you get 127 litres of room in the back. And it's just like it's just your top-loading boot. You probably know this if you're watching this video. And there's no spare tyre in the car. And then also the soft top has 130 litres of space in the boot, which is 3 more than the hard top, the RF models, which is, I guess, a point to the soft top, but you wouldn't notice 3 litres change, really. It's a tiny amount of space compared to the amount of space in this car. But that's made for fun. This is made for practicality, I'd say. So, then also, well, if you were wondering, from what I've seen, the MX-5 just doesn't tow anything. It can't tow. It's not really made for it. Its engine isn't all too powerful either. They're known for their lack of weight more than power. That's the whole thing about them, MX-5s, that their lack of weight. Other practicality things are, I talked about the glove box just being behind you. Quirky interior thing. The cup holders, you can take them out and move them to the center console in front of you, or you can take them out and just put them behind you, behind the armrest, which is a quirky feature, I'd say. And from what I've seen, people don't really like them too much, but well, it's a quirky feature, I guess. Let's move to sportiness. I guess the whole point of these things is for sportiness and for fun factor. I mean, they're not gonna win you any races, these things, but that's not the point of them. The point of them, as everyone I swear harps on about and everything I've seen, is that they are a fun car. They're just made to be fun, and everything about them is fun. That's one more reason why, like, everyone should get the manual. Sorry, God. Yeah, I'll tell you more about that in my final thoughts. But oh, my eye itchy. My eye is itchy. So, yeah, the sportiness. So, from what I've seen, they're just a car that you drive normally. So, what I'm doing right now, and it's just the whole experience of it is just turned up to a 10, rather than this being, I don't know what I'd rate this. I'd rate this maybe a 6, what I'm doing right now. 6 out of 10. Yeah, it turns it up to a 10. Because not to get anywhere, you have to rev out the engine. No, but like to move sportily, you do have to like move through the rev range, and you have to trying to think how to word this so that it fits with an automatic rather than just manual, but you can just drive around and it's not gonna, like, you can drive it hard without being caught by the cops pretty much, because it doesn't break any laws by driving this car hard. And it feels good, the fact that you're able to drive this car hard. because, well, that's what they're good for, and they don't break in doing so either. So, well, right now I'm not driving this car hard at all, because, well, I don't really want to do that to this. But, that's part of what I think makes the MX-5 good. I don't actually have one, so this is what I've just heard from going through other reviews and stuff. Just summing up information, you could say. Other things, well, if you were to throw the MX-5 at a corner, it can take it, but it also has quite a lot of, like, lean to the car. So if you turn, the whole car will just, like, I don't know, if you turn left, your whole car would just sway to the right, you could say. What do you call that? Just really soft suspension, I'm gonna call that. Well, not really soft, obviously it's sporty, but it's like, it leans in the corners quite a lot from what I've seen. And also, if you were to, because, well, the MX-5 is rear-wheel drive, so that, of course, then again adds to the fun factor. It also likes to throw its butt out. If you get the butt out and you start to drift, you need, I'm not going to say quite a bit of skill to keep it from spinning out or like going into a gutter or something, but you definitely need to have some knowledge on to how to handle a car in that situation, because it doesn't like going straight back in a line, if that makes sense. So in the 2024 model, they've changed the rear diff, I think only for the soft top model, actually. No, or was it the hard top one? One of the two, they've changed it so that it's, I forget what they call it. They changed it to an asymmetrical diff from a limited slip diff, which keeps it, to summarize, it keeps it going straight. Well, it helps the car go straight more than out sideways, which helps maintain more control in a corner. 30 degrees. Ooh. That's why, well, it doesn't feel like 30 degrees. Damn. Okay. School break is out, damn. School lunch, afternoon tea, whatever. Let's go this way. Which is kind of cool. Some, of course, are lacking fonder. So this kind of inhibits the fun factor, I'm going to say. This is like one of the only points that inhibits it, is the exhaust note. Just, it's not it. You're revving out a inline four cylinder. Well, it's a 2-litre inline 4-cylinder. And, well, it revs to 7,000 RPM, but it just doesn't sound good. It's naturally aspirated, but it just, the stock exhaust just doesn't work. I don't know if you can add another exhaust to it. I didn't watch that stuff, sorry. You probably know. But it just, the stock one just isn't great. Not at all. Not compared to a similar formula car, although a lot more expensive, is the Lotus Emira, which I've done a talk about video as well, which you can probably, I'll point up somewhere. But it's a similar formula, but it's also, well, it's not a convertible, this one, but it's also got the sound factor, so it actually sounds good for what you do to it. It's considered a sports car still, like, it's so close to being a supercar, it's considered, but it's still considered a sports car, the Lotus Emira. But I think it does what the MX-5 does, but better, but also being like 5 times the price, I think. So new, you can get the MX-5 for maybe, well, you can get it for 50 grand, and the Lotus Emira, brand new, you can get it for like 220 grand. So that's a lot more, but it's also, in my opinion, it is worth that extra amount. But I'm just going off and talking about the Lotus Emira here. It is one of my dream cars, I will say that. But anyway, I digress. So its sound is not its strong point, basically. The strong point is the driving, and I know the handling also isn't known for being amazing in the MX-5. But it's more about driving the car hard, I'm pretty sure, and experiencing all the satisfying parts of it. I know the manual is quite satisfying from what I've seen people reacting to it. So, once again, adding to the fun factor. After sportiness, I was talking about the specs. So, let's do that, I guess. So, the engine, in the 2024s and after, the only engine they come with, to my knowledge, is the 2-litre 4-cylinder that I was talking about before. And, oh, nice. And they come out with, they have 135 kilowatts of power and 205 newton meters of torque. And they all have, all the different versions of the latest one have a 45-litre fuel tank, LED lights, and what's other things that they share? I know the weights are all different, the fuel economies are all different. I'll roll with that for a minute. So the soft top automatic has a fuel economy of 7 litres per 100 k's combined fuel economy, and it weighs 1,035 kilograms. So that's 25 kilograms more than the car I'm driving right now, because this weighs 1,010 kilograms. 1,010 kilograms. And then, so the hard top, then the soft top manual has a fuel economy of 6.8 litres per 100 k's, which is better. So the automatic is kind of crap in comparison. Manual, from what everyone says, well, that I've seen, says that the manual is pretty much perfect, and then the automatic is meh. Just, it's okay. Now, the automatic is a 6-speed in all of them, and the manual is a 6-speed in all of them. Then with the hard top, so the hard top manual, actually, I forget what the automatic is, but the hard top manual is, well, here's information for the hard top automatic, and we'll see if it's the same, but I doubt it. So for the hardtop manual, the fuel economy is 6.9 litres per 100 k's, which is it's slightly worse than the soft top, and that's probably due to multiple reasons. So the hardtop has like a worse air, what's it called? Some coefficient with drag coefficient. Of course. So the drag, it's probably down to the drag coefficient, because I'm pretty sure that the drag coefficient is worse in the hardtop version compared to the soft top. And also the weight is a lot more in the hardtop, surprisingly. It's not a surprise at all. Let's turn right here. So the hard top then weighs, well, the manual anyway, weighs 1,108 kilograms, which is a lot more than the... Oh, sorry, I didn't say the weight for the soft top manual. The weight of the soft top manual is 1,015 kilograms. So that's quite a large jump in weight. Just going the hard top, which, what I've seen from reviews, people have complained about that. That's another point to the soft top. Yeah. So I guess that's the specs. I can't really... Oh, the tyres and all of them are 17 inches. Like, that's the rims. The rims are 17 inches. That's another spec, I guess. And yeah, that's about all the specs. I told you about the boot capacity earlier, being 130 for the soft tops and then 127 for the hard tops. So I guess from here I'll move to my final thoughts. So would I get the brand new MX-5? So, well, the prices do range from, I think it's 55 grand up to 62 grand. And for that price, I probably wouldn't get one. One, because I don't have the money, and two, I'd probably get something else for that price. Kia Stinger. I have also done a review for that, you can probably see that. Also, there's the... What's also made is the Abarth 124 Spider. And if we were looking at the MD1s, or the ND1s of the MX-5s, I'd probably get the Abarth over that, because I really like the design of the Abarth, and I like the sound of it too, in comparison. It's, to me, the Abarth is an MX-5 with, that sounds good. It's a good sounding MX-5 to me, and it looks better in my opinion. So that's why I'd get the Abarth over that. But if I were to specifically get an MX-5, I don't know if I'd get the hard top or the soft top, because, well, the hard top, in my opinion, it looks better than the soft top. But that's about the only point I can think of that it's, I guess, doing better than the soft top. Because the soft top, it's cheaper. There's less wind noise at high speeds in the soft top compared to the hard top. So that's another reason why you'd want to get the soft top. And then the... yeah, so it's cheaper, it weighs less, it's more fuel efficient. So really, every other point other than looks, I think, goes to soft top. Although the hard top is on an automatic system, so I guess that's another point to it. But the soft top being a manual system, it's super easy. You just flick a little flap up there, and you pull it down and push it back, and then that's all you have to do. It takes like 3 seconds, which would be faster than pushing a button for automatic, then it goes down. Although that would be cool. It's just, it takes more time, I guess. And then if you need to pull it up, you just pull a little flap back here, and then you pull it over and clip it in, and that's all you have to do for the soft top, which is just easy. It's easy. So yeah, I don't know what I'd get. Okay, after hearing all this, if I weren't to think about cost, I would probably get the hardtop just for the looks, and that's all. Although another point that denotes the hardtop is that it does create a big blind spot behind you to your right and off to the left, whereas in the soft top there's no blind spots at all, really, which is something to think about, I guess. Although I know people do like that pillar there for like privacy reasons or something. They don't like people just looking in at them, so they like the little pillar there, which is reasonable. So even with all that, I'd probably still get the hard top because, well, I check my blind spots, I guess. So yeah, I'd probably get the hard top. Color, I would either go with, I didn't go over the colors earlier. I probably showed them all the different colors, or at least some of the colors, but I would probably get white or red. If they came out with a blue color, I'd probably get the blue over the red, but I'd probably get the white because I like how it highlights all the, like the body shape of the car. To me, that looks good. Yeah. So I guess that's my final thoughts of the Mazda Mx-5 or Miata. And I do really like the car. I just don't think it's the car for me. Even though I have seen people say, from what I've seen in reviews and stuff, that everyone should have a Miata or Mx-5 sometime in their lifetime. So I guess that's something you can think about. Well, especially if you're a car enthusiast. Now, well, this is the only car I've owned, so I'm not looking into buying cars at the minute, you could say, because I want to keep this for some time, I think, till I think I can reasonably afford a new car. But yeah, I'll end it with that. So if you liked the video, give us a like, and leave a comment down if I've gotten anything wrong about the MX-5, or if you want to clear up something or any thoughts that you might have. And then give us a subscribe for more, I guess, because I'll be doing more videos soon. Well, I'll have more videos coming out similar to this, as well as I'll have a secrets video for the MX-5 coming out soon as well, which you might want to watch, and you should watch. So with that, I'll see you later. Bye bye.